Suffolk police are providing an update on a homicide investigation in North Bayshore. A body was found in a wooded area last night, and we're told an officer was shot during the investigation. Let's listen in.
Yeah.
Someone's phone. It's not mine. Check your phone, guys.
Yeah, it's the
Hospital speaker, right?
No, it's
Oh,
me.
there's Jerry.
That's who I was calling. You.
All right, good morning, everybody. Yesterday, around 4:35 p.m., Suffolk County Police Department received a 911 call regarding a man found deceased in a wooded lot across from 19 New York Avenue in Bayshore. The man was a victim of a homicide. Detectives made a tentative identification. While we are not releasing the victim's name at this time, we can tell you that he is 66-year-old male. During the course of the investigation, a homicide squad detectives identified a person of interest connected to the man's death. The victim and suspect, a 48-year-old, are known to one another. Detectives obtained a search warrant for the suspect's house, and officers began to set up a perimeter. While the officers were attempting to execute the search warrant, the suspect began to fire several shots from inside the home. One of these bullets struck a 3rd Precinct officer in the face. The officer, who never lost consciousness, was immediately transported to South Shore University Hospital in Bayshore. He then was transferred to Stony Brook University Hospital, where he underwent surgery to remove the bullet. The officer, who is 33 years old and has been on the job for 2 years, is in stable condition and under the care of Dr. James Voswinkle. Back at the scene, officers tactically retreated from the perimeter, and the hostage negotiation team responded. While our hostage negotiation team was attempting to make contact, a tactical drone was also being deployed. At about 5:50 p.m., our hostage negotiation team made contact, and at 6:09 a.m., the suspect surrendered. Prior to surrendering, when our hostage negotiation team, when our ESU team deployed the tactical drone, that same male from inside the house fired 7 rounds at our officers, striking one of our vehicles 7 times. I want to commend all of the officers involved who displayed great restraint. No officer fired their weapons. Nobody returned fire. Policing is a challenge, and we are reminded once again that an officer's life can be threatened in a split second. I want to commend South Shore University Hospital and Stony Brook University Hospital for the great care they have provided to our officer. And again, thank Dr. Voss for all the great work he did. If it was not by the grace of God, this press conference would be a lot different today. Any questions?
Canine was being brought in. Is there any reason to think that there could potentially be more bodies in that wooded area?
No, there's no reason to believe there are more bodies in that wooded area. We think it's an isolated incident.
What is the nature of the dispute between the deceased and you said they were known to each other? What was the nature of their relationship?
It seems that they had worked together previously at some point, and they had prior disputes in the past.
What line of work?
I believe they were mechanics.
How were you able to identify who the suspect was so quickly?
It's still an ongoing investigation, but we were able to get some video camera footage from the scene, ring camera footage, and that helped in identifying the suspect.
When do you believe the deceased was killed?
Yesterday afternoon, just before that call at 4:35.
And when you say you got video from the scene, do you mean the scene of the shooting itself?
Well, it all happened in that, kind of proximity to the initial homicide scene. So we were able to get video that helped us identify the suspect and subsequently obtain a search warrant and ultimately, attempt to execute that search warrant.
Can you talk a little bit more, too, about the fact that no shots were fired back? Maybe elaborate a little more about training that your officers have gotten on not escalating a situation and how that worked here.
Yeah, it's a great point. I mean, they did an amazing job. I mean, they didn't fire back just to fire back, right? They tactically retreated, set up a perimeter, and conducted a very, very safe operation, and ultimately we're successful in it without returning fire. So I commend him for that job.
Dr. Voss, is it possible just to talk about the injuries and getting shot in the face?
Want me to speak?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Good afternoon, everybody. We're very fortunate today because, as you mentioned, getting shot in the face is a very lethal type area to be shot. This officer's wound was literally a half-inch away from his eye. Okay, it was up on his cheek. It fractured his cheekbone, and it was lodged beneath his ear. If that was over half an inch, if that was at a different angle, unfortunately, he's at least blind, if not, unfortunately, not with us anymore, especially in that part of the skull. So, from that perspective, as I said, it goes to show you, once again, as being the civilian here, what our sworn police officers do for us, the risks they take, and how close something can come between life and death. My colleagues at Southside did a great job assessing and stabilizing him. He was transferred here. We did definitive surgery on him. Amazingly, he has no nerve damage from where this went, and he should make a complete and full recovery, which is one of the best things I can tell the public, considering what our officers do for us.
Was the bullet in his cheek?
We had to surgically remove the bullet, yes, from his face.
How long will he be in here?
It's going to be a brief stay. Fortunately, as I said, we're extremely, extremely fortunate because, as I said, a half-inch over or at a different bit of an angle, we have a gunshot to the brain, and those are very highly fatal.
This was a straight shot, not a ricochet?
I don't know trajectories. I know obviously that this was a projectile bullet with high velocity. So for something to go in, and we can see where it burns the skin, how fast it's going in, to fracture your cheekbone, and to go past that, and even to go further, this was a serious gunshot wound. This wasn't a graze. This was a shot. We're just extremely, extremely fortunate where it went.
Commissioner, can you tell us his rank and how long he's been with the police department?
He's a police officer. He's been with the police department for 2 years. He was a combat medic in the Navy as well for 4 years.
How about the suspect? Can you tell us, can you identify him, tell us maybe about a criminal history or?
He has a criminal history, not an extensive criminal history, but he does have a criminal history. And again, this is very, very fresh, so we still have a lot to investigate still. So we're not going to release any names.
Did you see what?
We're not certain what kind of weapon it was at this point. No.
Was the shot that the officer sustained shot through a door, a window, or directly at him?
No, we believe it was direct.
When he opened the door?
When the officers were getting ready to execute the search warrant, the door was opened at some point, I believe, and that's when he fired the rounds.
Have you been able, any of you, to speak with the officer, and if so, can you just tell us what he said, particularly noting that he is a medic himself, so how aware is he of just how very fortunate he is in this story?
So I spoke to him a little while ago. He's got a smile on his face. I think he's in a lot of pain, but I think he understands that, yeah, this could have gone a lot worse. So I think, he's happy to be alive, and we're happy that he is alive. So, but he's in good spirits, and he's getting taken care of well. So we're all very fortunate.
Do you have determined the cause of death for the victim yet? I'm sure you look how were you able to determine it was a homicide so quickly?
He had wounds that were indicative of homicidal violence, so it was apparent that he was the victim of a homicide.
And are charges pending at this point?
Yes.
What type of wounds? Gunshots? Lacerations?
They appeared to be lacerations.
I was notified about the shooting about 3 a.m. when our police commissioner called us. It's one of the calls that you don't want to get. It's one of the calls that you dread getting, that one of the members of your police force has been injured in the course of his duty. But I have to say, our thoughts and prayers are with him, his wife, his 3 children, his whole family. We are all behind him. I have many of my colleagues here from the county legislature, county government, from the PBA, from the police department. We're all rallying for him. and hoping for the best. I will say it is a shame that these things happen, but I've got to tell you, I have great respect for this police department and for his partner who got him medical treatment almost immediately, and for the police officers that backed off a situation that could have been far more lethal and chose not to engage, and not one shot was fired by the Suffolk County Police. So, very professional, and in the end, the suspect surrendered of his own volition. We have him in custody, and I'm sure the district attorney will take the appropriate action regarding this. But clearly, the police department and all of its members are to be thanked for their professionalism. And lastly, I always want to thank my good friend, Dr. Voss. He seems to come to the rescue to help our police officers in need when they're wounded. Today is a lucky day that this is not life-threatening. It's painful. It's going to hurt for a long time, probably some scarring. But this officer is going to survive. And I cannot thank his colleagues for their professionalism. And the suspect is in custody, will be charged appropriately by the district attorney's office, and we will continue to do what we do, what these men in uniform do, which is to keep Suffolk safe. And they do it at the risk of their lives, as you can see. You don't know when a situation can turn violent in a second. This was simply serving a warrant. Who knew that this guy would start shooting, shoot at police vehicles, shoot at police officers? I give the men and women who wear this uniform great respect, and I thank God that they're there to protect all of us. Thank you. I'm going to turn this back to our police commissioner, who's done an outstanding job. If there's any questions, I'll take them.
I'm sorry, did you say he's married with 2 children? I apologize.
I believe he has 3 children, but the police commissioner would know. I believe he's married and he has 3 kids. So obviously, they're all there. They're praying for his recovery. We're all praying for his recovery. And we are thankful that that bullet did not do the devastating damage that it could have done. But for the grace of God, today, we still have a police officer that we might not have had he turned his face in one direction or another. That might have been, we might be talking about a totally different situation. So, thank God. And we're all rooting and praying for him and hoping that he will recover. And again, my thanks to the men and women who wear the uniform that protect us, who showed great restraint, who were able to bring this incident to an end without firing one shot. Thank you.
Sean?
All right, you've been listening there to officials from Suffolk County describe the situation, and really, as you have heard here from the Suffolk County Executive Ed Romaine, the Police Commissioner Kevin Catalina, there's an officer that is lucky to be alive today. A Suffolk police officer was shot in the face and went through surgery, is in stable condition, and the doctor there on the scene, along with those officials, say that that officer is expected to make a full recovery. They also laid out details on the homicide victim, on the suspect, the person of interest. A lot of information here. Stay with News 12. Make sure to check in on our website as well, as we'll continue to provide that information to you.